Alright, hello, welcome to my political life video blog. Now, here's my observation for you. So many times you always go to Facebook? I do. See, this is what I did my Facebook page, and so is hashtag. Facebook page like hashtag Omaha Choirs. And so is my personal website, lhmusictimeblog.weebly.com, and I meant to tell you, this is all good. Wow, it's going to be wonderful. But here's your worst nightmare about, you guessed it, Facebook co-founder tried to warn, yeah, that's right, Chris Hughes made some big news about, you guessed it, Mark Zuckerberg. Because he has too much power, nearly illiterate, illiteral power. But guess what? He is not accountable. Really? Really, huh? We'll put this in writing for you, if you ask me. Because this is what happens, that according to the New York Times, that Facebook co-founder Chris Hughes has some big issues about the op-ed for the New York Times last week. And this is why he argued for his former corporate home, that he should be broken up by the government. Oh wow! Because this is what I just said this on my final thoughts. Seriously, I bet I know, the series premiere of my final thoughts, and of course, guest at my radio show on the Blaze Radio Network over the weekend, because so much to say about that Facebook current VP for Global Affairs, Nick Clegg, just published an editorial response at the New York Times over the weekend. Because I want you to listen to this. Yeah, he was trying to speak with CNN's Fareed Zakaria and try to double down on his position, and I have no clue whatsoever. Just listen to this from Chris Hughes on CNN's Fareed. You just listen to this.
What information we all read about access.
Yeah, the way that Facebook is structured as a company, Mark's the CEO. There is a board, but because he owns 60% of the voting shares, he's not accountable really to that board. It works more like a board of advisors than anything else. He's not really accountable to users, and thus far, he's not been accountable to government. So one thing that I don't spend time on in the piece, but I think is really important, is that we can approach corporate governance differently. There's a lot of folks who call for thinking about making sure that boards have a responsibility, not just to the bottom line, but to customers, to suppliers, to the environment, a kind of global responsibility, which again was what it was like in the 50s and 60s before the revolution over the past few years. So I think that kind of thinking, when applied to Facebook, would immediately bring accountability.
Now everybody knows about. Now you know that that may not be exactly how he put this in writing, but it's in the air in this huge interview. Yeah, CNN the liberal zone, Fareed Zakaria, GPS. Well, yeah, right, because you can see this on this video, because there's a lot of huge interview, and it much covers about the op-ed, and but the striking part was when Zakaria just asked specifically about Zuckerberg, and that is why for your biggest concerns, if you say in this piece, in the degree of which Mark Zuckerberg has to, yeah, right. That's what Zakaria has to say about this one? Because this settlement is on the right. Yeah, right. Now, here's why. You know that the way that Facebook is structured as a company, and that's why who's taking full responsible, who's taking full responsible for this one is Mark Zuckerberg. He is the CEO of Facebook, and that's why he owns 60% of the voting. So that's why he agrees with Zuckerberg and almost total control, and that he is not accountable for it. So what if I told you that he tried to add this up because the FTC just broke up the huge company? Or is there any wonder that we're meaningful that private regulations that it could potentially bring this accountability. And you might think so about the world that we're in power right now. What is one that where I do think Mark Zuckerberg has too much power. We're nearly on I guess the power, but it's particularly noted that Hughes isn't focusing. You're not focusing, haven't you? Exclusively on the privacy. But guess what? In the public square, when it all comes down to this, the former comes up the more often in technology news, and when when it's over about the latter more often comes up from the critics on the right. But there's more. Listen to this. Listen to this.
To the company, or if the FTC broke up the company, or if there were meaningful privacy regulation, that too would bring accountability. But the world that we're in right now is one where I do think Mark Zuckerberg has too much power, near unilateral power.
You see, I told you. Yeah, that's why he has too much power. Well, guess what? The Democratic hopefuls are weighing in over the weekend, too. Well, Senator Elizabeth Warren, known as Pocahontas, who's previously inveighing against the power of Facebook, applauded Hughes, according to Business Insider, for his op-ed piece. Because this morning, Kamala Harris, she's on CNN, the Liberal, this morning. Yes, State of the Union with Jacob Tapper. Oh, Lord have mercy. Because I'll tell you one thing is, the company is something that we have to take it seriously to look at it. Oh, really, huh? I'll do with you Tuesday on my Political Life video blog. And you try to interview with, you guessed it, Jacob Tapper, as far as we're concerned. Well, here's my observation for you. If you would believe, says that Senator Ted Cruz has been retweeted Warren for the first time, and when the stupid liberal Democratic buffoon tried to laming on Facebook powers, and without specifically calling to action, and certainly agree with Hughes. And you know why? That the company is controlling speech. Wow, that's a good thing. Now, finally, Senator Josh Hawley has been more specific in last couple months. Yeah, the antitrust laws needs to be updated and specifically try to reflect the new technology world and social media landscape. Because here's my observation. Because the moral of my Political Life video blog story is this. Quote this from Senator Josh Hawley. Says that our antitrust trust laws and antitrust doctrines in the courts are not developed to talk about this. And so we have this discussion in the courts. Because I tell you one thing is, last month, Mark Zuckerberg calls himself, yeah, you just remember this. Remember this, according to Blaze.com, that Zuckerberg wants more government. Do you want government? Give me a break. You wish. Because everything else try to increase the government regulations. It doesn't work that way. The way it is. Anyways, that's my political life video blog story, and I'm sticking to it.